So the time has come. It is the end of my 5-day trading online places, and I am here to report the results. And as you know, my three girlfriends for 1 week, they went online for 1 hour as me and tried to find a potential him, or at least try to find a date for me by the end of the week. And this is the results. I went through and looked at the emails they sent out and who responded and all that kind of fun stuff. So they had three websites to go to and send out emails and do searches, and a total from all three websites, total for the 5-day period, they sent out a total of 12 emails. And from those 12 emails, the number of guys who responded to their initial email out of 12 was one guy. So I think they will be surprised. I haven't talked to him yet, but I think that they will be surprised with the fact that only 1 out of 12 responded. And it was just one email, so it wasn't like they had an exchange with anyone. With that email that he sent me, I responded back. But the funny thing is, the one guy who responded, his profile, I looked at it, he looked fine, but there was nothing in his profile that I would have thought was a good fit. Like, I would have never have selected him to send an email to, which is kind of why I kind of did this, because I kind of want to see what my friends think who might be right for me. Like, I looked at the profiles of some of the other guys I sent emails to, and most of those guys I thought, oh, I could see myself with this person based upon what I know from their profile. But this one guy just was like, what was it about him? And my girlfriend's out of town, so I can't ask her what it was she saw in this guy. But anyway, so I have emailed him, and we'll go back and forth, and we'll see where it takes us, because she might have saw something in him that I didn't see, and it may work out great. So thanks so much, you guys. I really, really appreciate you guys taking the time to do this for me. So, and then Denise, Anissa, and Tracy, thank you so much. And I want to have you thank your husbands and thank your kids, because I took 1 hour away from their time with you. So I appreciate it. And I hope that the things that I did for you guys were really helpful, because I had fun doing that as well. And just some of the things that were a takeaway for me, it was just so nice to be able to take a break from this. I mean, I've done this, gone online for almost an hour for almost 30-something weeks, and it has gotten exhausting, and there are weeks that go by where you don't get any results, and so being able to take a break was something that was so needed. And by the end of the week, I was excited to go online again and look at profiles, which, you know, I hadn't been at that place for a while, and you did that for me. And I also appreciate you just taking the time to look at life through my lens or through my perspective, or walking in my shoes. And sometimes friends don't do that for each other, and you guys did, and you spent a lot of time and energy doing that, and I really appreciate. And I think, you know, what was learned from that was it is challenging. I think some people look at what I'm doing and they're like, well, how hard can it be to find a husband? And I think what they learned was it's a lot more challenging than they probably thought. So I appreciate them taking the time to look at it from my side, and I appreciated being able to look at their lives, that 1 hour online, through their lens, because I did learn some things about their life, or was reminded certainly of some things about what they do as a wife and mother that are important. So I appreciate that. And I think the overall takeaway from what this week was about was just the idea of getting your girlfriends involved, getting your friends and your family involved. This is something that's important to me, and I had gotten to a point where I was tired and a little bit discouraged, and I went to them and said, hey, will you do this for me? And they were willing to do that. And I think that, you know, whatever you're pursuing, if there's a way that you can get your friends involved so that they encourage you and support you, then go ahead and do it. And even better if you can make it worth their while. So it wasn't just about them going online for me for an hour. I traded places. It was an exchange, and I went online for them. And so I tried to make it worth their while. And so I think, you know, if you're at a place where you're sort of looking to liven things up, I think maybe going to your friends and seeing how they can help out, how they can sort of support you during this time might be a good thing to do. And I think the other important lesson that I learned from this, the takeaway was, and I think it's a part of what this whole 52 weeks was about, was putting the adventure back in the mundane. And I do this, like I've said, every week. I've done this certainly for the last 30 weeks, and I've done it for years before that, and it became mundane. And what I tried to do with this 52 weeks, and what I tried to do with this one particular week, was find a way to put an adventure back into it, and find a way to make it fun. and to enjoy the journey. And that's certainly what happened this week. So I really am grateful, and we'll see what happens with the one guy who responded. And thanks again for taking part, and thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. And now I think I'm just going to go away and come up with some new wacky thing to do.